In the quiet churchyard of St John the Baptist in North Luffenham, 20 Commonwealth war graves stand among the village headstones, silent witnesses to the sacrifice from 2 world wars. Among them rest an English farm boy who fell in the trenches, a New Zealand airman who left behind a wife and baby boy, and a Canadian gunner whose bomber came so close to home before flames and fate brought it down. 3 men, 3 lives behind 3 of North Luffenham's war graves. This is their story. John Alfred George Adams was born in September 1895 in Silverstone, Northamptonshire, the eldest son of George Henry and Kate Elizabeth Adams. Before the war, John's family settled in North Luffenham, where he worked as an under-wagoner on a farm, far removed from the horror that lay ahead. On the 24th of June 1918, he enlisted with the 2nd Battalion, King's Own Yorkshire Light Infantry. He trained as a Lewis gunner, defending his comrades with one of the Army's early light machine guns. He arrived in France on the 15th of October 1918, just weeks before the guns fell silent. His battalion, at Saint-Souple, was tasked with attacking German positions along the Sambre Canal. On the 4th of November, a heavy British barrage began the assault, but in the confusion and thick fog, friendly shells landed short, striking John's own men. Despite this, they pushed forward under German fire. John was badly wounded, one of more than 112 casualties that day. He was evacuated to England, but died in hospital at Liverpool on the 14th of November 1918, just days after the war ended. He was just 23 years old. Today, he rests in North Luffenham Churchyard, under the words, sadly missed and sorrowfully mourned. His headstone also bears the name of his brother-in-law, killed 3 years earlier in Ypres, 2 sacrifices in one family, remembered among 20 others here. Hugh Morrison was born on the 27th of June in 1919 in Arrowtown, New Zealand. He grew up in Otago's Hills and attended Mosgiel District High School before working for the Railways Department as a clerical cadet. When war came, Hugh joined the Royal New Zealand Air Force in October 1939. He trained as an air observer, the crew member who navigated missions, plotted bombing runs, and acted as a pilot's second mind and eyes. It was a job for the calm and quick thinking. In April 1941, Hugh married Margaret Fanny Mitchell. Later that year, they welcomed a son named Hugh Morrison, like his father. For a while, life was full. A new wife, a baby boy, a uniform worn with pride. Hugh Morrison with his family before leaving New Zealand. Back row, 3rd from left, a moment captured before war took him far from home. And here's an image of Hugh with his parents, a son between duty and family. On the 2nd of May 1942, Hugh and his crew lifted off in Blenheim L9206 for a training flight over Leicestershire. The aircraft crashed near Bilston, killing everyone on board. He was just 22 years old. Sergeant Hugh Morrison is buried in North Luffenham Churchyard, alongside fellow crewman, Flight Sergeant James Rosling Young, a New Zealander resting far from his homeland, one of 20 Commonwealth war graves tended here with care. Richard Hubert Lewis was born on the 31st of October 1920 in Minnedosu, Manitoba, Canada, a farmer's son raised among wide fields and prairie skies. In 1941, he joined the Royal Canadian Air Force, training as an air gunner, the man in the bomber's turrets, eyes on the dark sky, guarding the crew against sudden attacks. On the 26th of February 1943, Richard and his crew took off in Wellington BK268 from RAF Croft, part of a force bound for Cologne. That night, bombs fell across the city's southwest. In the early hours of the 27th of February, their Wellington limped home with one engine burning. It crashed near RAF Woolfox Lodge, Rutland, just short of safety. 5 or 6 men aboard were killed instantly. The only survivor, Warrant Officer Kenneth Cunliffe Smith, was later killed over Germany the same year. Flight Sergeant Richard Hubert Lewis and fellow gunner Flight Sergeant Keith Lachlan Campbell now lie together in North Luffenham Churchyard. 2 young Canadians laid to rest far from their prairie they once called home. He was just 23 years old. His grave bears the words chosen by his family: "In memory of our beloved son, who gave his life that freedom might live." One village churchyard, 20 Commonwealth war graves, and these are just 3 of the stories behind the names carved in stone. An English farm boy who fell in France, a New Zealand airman who never returned from training skies, a Canadian gunner who came so close to home but fell just short. If you found these stories meaningful, please subscribe and share this video. And if you know of another name among these 20 graves, or any quiet corner where sacrifice is hidden in plain sight, tell us in the comments, because remembrance lives on, not just in stones, but in these stories we tell, lest we forget. If you like listening to the stories of the history of those who came before, then please give the video a like and subscribe to keep updated about future videos of the history of those who came before.